Hi there, Paul Tester here, CMS's manager in Latin America. And I'm here to tell you just a little bit about the forthcoming Indigenous Peoples Congress in Latin America, the Indigenous Mission Conference. And it's an exciting time. We're really excited about it. There will be representatives coming together from the Indigenous Church wanting to consider how God is calling us together into mission amongst Indigenous peoples in Latin America. Over the last couple of years, we've been consulting with representatives from the church in Araucanía and in the Chaco in Paraguay and northern Argentina, thinking about how best we can do this. We've been holding consultations in those areas, listening to the grassroots, thinking about the issues that are key to people today amongst Indigenous communities, and thinking about how, as Christians in mission, we respond. And so we'll be bringing together representatives from Araucanía, the members of the Mapuche community there, from Chile. We'll have representatives from the southern Enclave in Paraguay, and also from Nangaite and the Chaco in Paraguay. From northern Argentina, representatives of the Huichi, Toba, and Choroti communities. And we'll be all coming together to discuss around themes that have come out of those original consultations, looking at things like the formation and education of Christian Indigenous leadership, around issues like gospel and culture. How does Indigenous culture relate to the gospel, and vice versa? How do we learn from Indigenous peoples about issues like creation care? How can we walk alongside Indigenous peoples and how can they best claim their rights from the state, and how can they relate to the state? And also, how can we do things in unity? How can we be united together as we face these kind of challenges and calling that God puts upon us? So we're coming together and reflecting on some of these issues and some of these thoughts, inspired in great part by Jeremiah 6:16, which talks about standing at the crossroads and looking for the ancient paths, the ways that have gone before, and discerning and listening to which is the good path that we should walk going forwards. And that's what we're coming to do together, to listen, to discern which is the path that we should take together now in mission amongst Indigenous peoples. So we're excited about it. We'd ask for your prayers for this time together. Please pray that we would first of all, for all the practicalities that we'd all be able to get there after such a long time of not being able to do this, to not being able to travel. It is going to be such a joy to be able to be together. So do pray for the practicalities. Pray that whilst we're there, that we would discern, that we would listen well, be attentive to God's voice, and that we would be able to come together and consider, what can we do together in God's mission? How can we go forward? What steps can we take? And so do please pray for us. We'll be working towards a declaration at the end of it, which will come out to coincide with a day which previously known as Columbus Day, but now the day of the meeting of two cultures. And that's very much in the back of our minds as Indigenous culture and the wider global culture interact. You know, we want to see the younger generation of Indigenous Christian leaders being able to serve in God's mission in those contexts, navigating those two cultures. So we'll be working towards a declaration that will bring all of those things together. So do pray for that it will be something that we will all unite around, that we will be able to commit to, and that into the future we will walk together, serving together in God's mission amongst Indigenous peoples in Latin America. Thanks and God bless.